Night, October 7th, 2016. It's like 1 in the morning. I'm walking home from my friend's house a little buzzed. He lives almost a mile away. I stop at the T intersection of 2 roads and the trail that leads into the woods. There's no lights in there, but it's a definite shortcut that I always take during the day. Admittedly, I was wary of going in there simply because I found it creepy at night. I figured I'd save a good 10 minutes cutting through there instead of walking down the curvy roads, so I went for it. Using nothing but the light on my phone, I began to navigate the woods. Around 50 yards into the woods, I heard noises coming from up ahead. It sounded like more people. Normally I wouldn't find this too weird. It was a Friday night though, and sometimes kids would go into the woods to smoke after all. But still, with the thought of all this clown stuff going on, especially in my area, I feared for the worst. I covered the light from my phone as I was trying to turn it off, and tiptoed around a big tree to hide. When the sounds got closer, it became obvious that they were footsteps, just as I feared. In the back of my mind, I knew the odds of running into clowns in the woods was next to none. I just also wanted to avoid contact with anyone in the woods at this hour. It soon became apparent that there were 2 people walking by. I tried to remain as quiet as possible, hoping they didn't see the light. These 2 people weren't talking at all, though. I could only hear their shoes hitting the leaves on the trail. That is, hitting the leaves up until around where I was standing. Then they stopped. I got that painful feeling in my heart and stomach area that you get whenever something shocking or scary happens. I daringly stuck my head around the tree, and I could see 2 people standing there in the darkness, and I immediately recognized their bizarre attire. These were 2 clowns. It didn't feel real. I even imagined this exact scenario playing out in these woods, and here it was happening now. I knew they would have seen the light, that's why they were stopped. They knew I was hiding somewhere. The question was, what were they going to do to me? It was the most tense moment of my life. However, it only lasted maybe 20 seconds. Then I heard the 2 clowns continue walking down the trail. When they were far enough away, I hopped up and ran for the other side of the woods, not caring how much noise I made. My house was across the street from the woods, so as soon as I made it across, I was basically home. My mom was already asleep by then, so I went around back and unlocked the back door with our secret key. I made a point of locking the door right away and shutting the blinds. I walked over to the living room about to shut those blinds, when I noticed the clowns across the street, standing by the edge of the woods, facing my house. I couldn't tell if they were actually staring at me or not, but they were just still like statues, and I'm sure they were trying to scare me. I woke my mom, and she went to go check it out. But just like in any horror movie, the clowns were gone, meaning I was the only one who actually saw them. I tried to go to sleep, and given that I was still buzzed, kind of helped ease me into a sleepy state. In my bed, after facing the wall for a while, I got uncomfortable, so I flipped over to the other side, where I had a view of my whole room. Even though I was tired, I had trouble keeping my eyes closed, simply because I couldn't stop thinking about those clowns. What if they were out there right now? The sound of the thud on the window was like the sound of death to my ears. I knew what it was, and I didn't move. I closed my eyes and pretended to be asleep. I ignored it. Still not moving an inch. The thuds were getting more intense, and I feared they would break open the window. I finally took a look at the window, and under the blinds, the section that wasn't blocked, I saw a clown with his head to the side, looking at me laying in my bed. That was all it took for me to break down screaming, running to my mom's room and crying to her that there was a clown outside my window like a baby. She took me very seriously and took the pepper spray she had under the bed, marched over to my bedroom window, and once again, the clown was gone. My mom believed me, of course. She is my mom, after all. She didn't give me some cliched horror movie bullshit like I'm just seeing things or I had too much to drink. No, she really believed me. In fact, she called the cops the next day and reported that there were clowns in the area harassing us. But that wasn't the end of it. Last night I once again saw a clown standing across the street by the woods again, staring at my house.